The air is poison. Artie, we're driving up to Tony Robbins last week.
Terrible, yeah.
They must turn on the smoke real early in the morning up there in Linden. I never seen a plume like that in my life. It looked like Hiroshima. I swear to you. It was this beautiful crisp morning. I think it was Saturday morning. And you're driving up, and all of a sudden, here you go. You're in Carteret. You can see it out in the distance. And as you cross into Linden, there was this just tremendous plume. And what they're doing out there, that's all the generation of electricity that goes on out there. And you know what, we live in a disaster area. And we have to, as a country, we're fighting our way out of that and hopefully lead the free world. That's the big picture. You're part of the big picture. I'm part of the big picture. I'm doing things I've never done before. I'm going to, what am I doing next week with my daughter and Janine Tankos? We're going to Jackson, and we're taking seedlings out of the ground and putting them in things I would never have done before. But you know what? This is really a special thing to be involved in. And this is where it starts. Having people in your life make a decision to go green. And you have 8 of them do that in 8 weeks with their electric, you get $200 back. If you want to get your skin out of the game, have 16 people in 8 weeks make that decision with us, and you get $350 back. So that's a good little story for you. You see that this is a legitimate company, okay? You got no more skin in the game, and what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for residual income in about 2 or 3 months. And if you do this, and you learn and you build the scar tissue, I can teach Joe, I can teach Charlene, I can teach Artie how to do this. What the objections are, why the objections exist, how to get through this. And as we do this as a group, we build a tremendous industry, not only for ourselves, but we look at the big picture. So that's really what it is in a nutshell and what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to turn this over to David now, okay? And Dave's going to talk about commitments and goals.
Hi, good morning. My name is David DeJesus. Tony introduced me earlier today. I actually still work for the state police, so I got to watch what I say. And I had a little less coffee than Tony. So the first one is the why, and that's the most important. We're going through a duplicate process here, like Tony said, it's 8 steps. And the reason we go through the why first is because, when you set goals and commitments and you start hitting some roadblocks, people start on their knees and they drop. So you got to go back to your why. The next thing is commitments and set goals. Anything you do in life, you got to have a goal. When I went to the military, they send you down to basic training. They have goals for you. This first 4 weeks, you're gonna learn this. Then you're gonna learn how to shoot. Then they're gonna, spit you out and make you a soldier. Same thing with the State Police Academy. You go down there for 6 months. They have goals for you. In that situation, they're setting the goals for you. In this business, if you don't set a goal and make a commitment, you're not going to get far. We could all say here, we're going to go get customers, but if we don't actually set a hard goal, like this week we're going to get 2 customers, or we're going to show the video, we're not going to get far. So some of the basic goals and the 2-on-1 that Tony skipped over, that's something that you want to go with with your sponsor. And to get together 2-on-1.
Well, let's touch on those points because it's probably a good time to jot this down if you haven't gotten to this yet.
The reason I mentioned the 2-on-1 is because what the 2-on-1 means is 2 hours one-on-one your associate. So Tony alluded to about the $99. People start going out there. It's not just about signing people up and just be like, here you go, have a nice day. You want to treat your new associates like a newborn baby. You want to lock arms with them and work this business together. So the most important thing is, and if you're new to this business, you look for your sponsor, other people, your upline to help you with this. We do a 2-on-1, 2 hours one-on-one. I actually have a guest here, Chris, who I actually showed this video to yesterday and did a third party. And I told him, he's like, he really likes it, he wants to, sign up. And I told him, I was like, I will not have anybody join unless they commit to a 2-on-1 with me. So I said, when do you have 2 hours? I need you to come to John's house Sunday, go to Wednesday's meeting, and then sit down with me for 2 hours to do a one-on-one. Because you can, like I said, you can sign up as many people as you want, but if you don't hold their hand or teach them which way to go, they're gonna crumble. You're just wasting your time. So what is a 2-on-1? Basically, is you help them get certified. For you guys who are associates here, know the 45-minute Ready University. You help them sign themselves up as a customer, electric, solar, in New Jersey, and then you direct them to Go Green Power Co. So whenever you're looking to do something, if you're looking to be a baseball player, you want to go to Derek Jeter's camp, right? Or or Todd Frazier's camp, right? And be a good baseball player.
He's a Viridian associate, so we push his camp.
Who's also a Viridian associate, so we do push his camp. But I sent my son there. But basically, what Go Green Power Co is, that's our personal website of our #1 earner in the company, making over $300,000 approximately a month, and that's his site. Sign up for that. He's got newsletters that he sends out all the time. He keeps you in the loop. He's actively involved. Joe O, he does calls every Tuesdays and Thursdays at in the morning, a couple of Joe calls, and they're available 24/7. So we're all busy here. I'm busy. Everybody's busy. You can listen to them whenever.
Dave, maybe people can take a picture of that if they want with their phone, because there's some good
Yeah,
stuff.
there's a lot of good stuff here. If you want to take a picture,
the Facebook Viridian team, right, Dave?
We have and then we have AM Generation B. You can text that number 9600. They'll send you text messages when we do like the power calls and stuff. The Viridian Toolkit, basically get with your sponsor. It's basically something you can download if you have an iPad, Apple. It's a lot of good information in there. It's an app you can download. LiveViridian.com. Hopefully, if you're in this room, you know about that site. Somebody might have directed you to it. A lot of good information on there. The call sheets. See any of your sponsors about that. It has all our numbers, conference numbers on there. Facebook Viridian team, like Tony was talking about. 90% of the people are on Facebook right now. If you're on Facebook, get with your sponsor so we can add you to that team. We put a lot of good information on there about training. We actually give you the link to this training, because this training is being live streamed on YouTube right now, so if you can't make it one day, you can watch it. Sunroom.Viridian.com, if you don't know what that is, like Tony says, get with your sponsor. Basically, they can sit down and help you with that, where you can sign people up to give you referrals to solar. And then the last thing here is, especially if you're a new associate, a lot of people, you start using the Mac Pro, you start using the Safari, trying to sign up a customer. If you have problems on the Viridian, for the most part, initially we were having a lot of technical problems, and Viridian has been taking care of that. Now they have a technology team and everything. If you have problems signing up a customer or an associate, you got to start getting knocked out. And if their credit card is good, because one of my associates ran into that the other day. I was like, do they have money in their card or something? They should have credit card be working, because that was the problem. It was the credit card was bad. But anyway, they kept saying, no, it's the site, it's the site, it's the site. 90% of the problem, I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this long enough, is you're using the wrong Explorer. You want to use Firefox or Internet Explorer, and I think it's 8.0. Not just Internet Explorer, it's got to be updated to 8.0. Make sure you note that down. I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably not listening to me right now. You're going to start signing somebody up, and you're going to get embarrassed when you're sitting there 2 hours trying to sign somebody up because you didn't do this.
That happened to us yesterday. He had to do
There you
it
go.
3 times.
There you go, see? I told you, I don't make
and
this
I
up.
felt like the biggest ass in the room. Like, oh my God.
And
I
Kevin,
can't
how many
even
times have you been
sign.
coming to these meetings?
All the time. And I asked him, but I told
Always training.
him, but I had to ask him, what network do you have? And he said he had this one.
It's not the Wi-Fi, it's not the
No.
computer, it's
Did I ask you?
In Explorer.
I told him what he needed to have. Well, I got that. Okay.
He was just trying to do the 211. So he stalled it.
So trust me, that's a lot of people call me like, I've been, and that's another thing. If you're spending 2 hours, you spend more than 20, 30 minutes, you're having problems, call your team leader. Call somebody.
He couldn't talk right.
Yeah, call somebody, because you don't want to sit there and spend 3 hours. Shouldn't take it.
How long does Viridian have the tech team though? Like, wouldn't they do that?
Can I clear this up?
Yeah,
I gotta
we switch
interject.
platforms. Yeah,
I've got to interject. What's going to happen, okay, and I can't make any definitive announcements because it's all proprietary information, but the platform, this whole platform that we're talking about and we've been bad-mouthing for a long time, is going to be completely upgraded. A tremendous platform. That's definitely going to happen this summer. Okay, maybe late spring this summer. We're talking about complete top shelf Mercedes-Benz type of deal. Okay, so I don't want to say, oh, the Easter Bunny's coming, the Easter Bunny's coming. No, it's really happening. So just in the meantime, this is the things we have to do.
So, and I'm not trying to scare anybody here. The technology works fine. As long as you got the right stuff, you're not gonna have a problem with our technology, the back office. They just add a lot of our platform. It involves a lot. You put it in customers. It's calculating residual income for us, bonuses. The structure's going up. It has a lot it's got to do. With that being said, now going back to the goals and commitments. I actually heard something on the radio yesterday. It said the equation to life was M equals O minus C. And I was like, what the hell is that? And then the guy
It's a
started
physics professor right there. He's like, what the hell are you talking about?
So somebody always says, you know, like, what is life? You know, like we say, you know, pursuit of happiness and whatever. And then I heard this and I'm like, what is this guy talking about? Some doctor talking. And he goes, if you have a mess in your life, what it means is you have an obligation that you haven't made a commitment to. So you have an obligation without a commitment. And that struck me because every Sunday we sit here and you see, first thing we say is commitment. And it hit me hard because being in the business, I'm like, that's so true. Because if you look back at your life, and when I say mess, it doesn't have to be like a mess, but if you look at your finances, if you look at a marriage, anything, you know, your kids or stuff, you have an obligation. Whether it be obligation to your spouse, obligation to pay your bills, obligation to grow this business, to help pay your bills. But the problem is people don't make a commitment. So you have an obligation without a commitment, that's where you get the mess in life. And that's so true. A lot of people say they make a commitment. Obviously, a lot of us are here right now on Sunday. That's a commitment, and that's what you got to do. But a lot of people want to lose weight, like they want the magic pill. Nobody wants to step on the scale. Nobody wants to work towards it. Same thing with this business. You got to put time and effort into it. And initially, you're not going to get paid for the work you're doing. What I'm saying is, you're going to be working more than your work. You know, more than you're getting paid. And then eventually, as you start growing the business, and you start seeing associates come into business like John, Alela, associates popping up in all different areas, you're going to start getting paid more than your work. You know, more than the effort you put into it. So you know, that struck to me with the commitment. So what do you want to do when you get into business? Fast start. Tony covered it. You really want to put money into your associates' pockets because they want to get the return on investment, like any business, $299 to get in. You want to get the $600 in there, and you want to show them that this business is true. I never did multi-level marketing before. Tony already mentioned a couple people haven't. So the first thing we get is like, they're really going to pay us? I mean, when people pay an electrical bill, we're going to get paid? Yeah, they are. They're really going to pay when you get to 16 customers? Yeah, you are. Fridays, bonuses get paid. On the 10th of the month, residual income gets paid. Yeah, can you put in a bunch of solars and receive a $2,700 check? Kevin, right? Yeah. I was in leadership retreat when Kevin sat there. We were sitting there having a glass of wine, and his wife calls me like, hey, we just got, I think it was $2,700. Kevin was like, what? We just got $2,700 deposited into our account.
No, she said, I just got it.
And you know what? You know, Kevin is not in my business, and just being in front of him and seeing the excitement in his voice, I mean, you know, any little bit of money, you know, even if you get $8,000, you know, some people get like a $6,000 check. It's nice, you know, you feel good. It's like you hit the jackpot, you know? But what it does, the work you put in. Now he sits there, we're at the leadership trip, it's perfect time, beautiful resort. He's got the same $27. Could have took me to a bar and bought me a shot. But anyway, you know, now you feel good about yourself. You're putting work in, now you're getting paid. And what you want to do is after you get the fast start bonus, you get to consultant.
I did fix your tire though. Almost saved your life.
Oh yeah, he did. That is true. He did say that. And then get to director. And what happens is, what you want to do is this is where you make the money. You want to go from student to mentor as soon as possible. This is your business. John opens up this beautiful house. This training is here every Sunday. Take advantage of that. You know, you look at any other business, whether it be the Mary Kays, the Amways, all these other companies, their top dogs are in like Texas, California. They're doing conference calls, webinars. You know, we're fortunate here in New Jersey. For the team that in New Jersey, we're in our back. We got this in our backyard. Take advantage of it. So what you want to do is you want to sit here, become a student, but eventually you want to be here. You know, like I'm still new to this, and even though I've been doing it for a couple of years, but Tony and John and Lala, they shouldn't have to be up here anymore. You know, they should be in the back over there watching their students perform now. And that's technically what you gotta do. You wanna start moving these chairs. I see like Artie's getting closer to the front and, you know, start moving.
That's a lot.
So eventually you're gonna end up here, because what happens is, when you come up here, you know, you become a leader. And it's like the military, you know, you become a private, you work up your way up to like a platoon sergeant, now you got a platoon under you. And that's this is why I look at this business. I look at this business as an army. You know, you start building an organization. Whoever has the biggest army wins, right? So that's kind of what you want to do. You're not going to be a leader of your army if you're not comfortable building an army, if you're not comfortable talking. And I'm not saying you got to talk in front of people, because you could become a mentor behind the scenes at your house. I'm not saying you have to be up here. You know, we got this covered. But be a mentor to your people. Do what, you know, answer the people's questions, set goals for your people, achieve those goals, and show people they can do it. And then you want to go wide as soon as possible. Everybody always comes in, what's the secret of making this money? How do you make money? How do you do this? If there's one skill we want to learn here, is show the plan. You know, the why, you want to have all that, you want to have a list. But the only way you make money in this business is like owning a coffee shop. If you're not open to sell coffee, you're not going to make any money. So the only difference between John, Tony, like Mario says it the best is, and Joe, they show the video more times than we did. Tony showed the videos more times than I did. That's the only difference. Because if you show the video enough, you're going to get to these ranks. So what happens is you want to show the video, yeah, you want to get your customers, but you want to show the video and go wide as fast as possible. Because the wider you go, you get the 20 wide, you know, there's a number breakdown, but you know, I don't want to get it, you go crazy into it, but the wider you go, there's like a percentage. It's like a baseball player. They bang 300, they're making millions of dollars. Here, if you go 20 wide, you get 3 to 4 people to do something, to become mentor, to establish an organization, you will be making $1 million a year. We already have millionaires in the business. It's bound, you know, it's happening. So it's proven. So what do you want to get? The first structure is the consultant structure. And I'll keep this as simple as possible. Basically, this is the first building block. This is where you want to get. So after you get your fast start bonus, or while you're getting your fast start bonus, I like to say, not after, you want to get to consultant as soon as possible. How do you do that? You come on board, you sign up, you start getting your meters. Remember I said it was 16? So all you need is 8. So start getting your personal customers. I was talking to Chris about this, and I kept saying to him, customer, and he was like, how can a house be 3 customers? So I like to say meters because people get confused. Like, how can one house be 3 customers? Basically, this is a meter count. So one house can be 3 meters because you have solar, electric, and gas. So, you know, what's that?
More.
Which means
Solar will count as 10.
Yeah, eventually, yeah. I don't like to cover that yet because I don't want to confuse anybody, but there's going to be a little thing that they're going to, a curveball they're going to throw at us where they're going to eventually give us 10 customers for 1 solar. So I don't want to confuse you with that right now, but that's something that's coming. But basically what you want to do is you want to get, basically this is like 3 houses, is what I'm trying to say. So that's what you want to do. Then you want to get 2 people under you that have 4 meters, customers each, all right? And a total of 25 in your organization. So if you add up all these numbers plus 9, you want to have 25 total, including your numbers, in your organization. That's why it's important that you get your 16. Because you get to consultant, all you need is 25. So if you have your 16 and these individuals get their 4, then you're golden. And what I tell you, the way to get to this is not just showing the video twice. Because don't think you're going to show the video twice. 2 people are going to sign up, and those 2 people are going to bring in 4 customers. This doesn't happen. I mean, so you get some sharp people, it will happen. But in order to get this, let's say you got to show the video like a numbers game, 20%, 30%, maybe show the video 10 times. You know, then you get 2 people. But the problem is you don't want to get 2 people. You want to get 4 people, 4 associates. The reason I tell you that is because you're going to get somebody that signs up, they're going to do 2 meters or 1 meter. They're like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. They're not going to do any meters. So you understand it's a numbers game. So the more people you have set up here, the faster you get to consult. People are hitting this rank like weeks. A month. They're hitting directors. It's crazy what's going on now, how fast this company is growing because we're in more states and solar and everything. But that's the consultant structure. Anybody have any questions with that?
What's the 9?
The 9 is what happens is you need 25 total in your organization to be a consultant. So the 9 is making up the difference. You got 8, 10, 12, 16 there, and then another 9 to equal 25. So what he's saying here, that's why he's got all kinds of arrows. This 9 can come from anywhere. You could put 5 here, 4 here, that equals your 9. So, but these are the minimum requirements to have that structure, and 9 anywhere in here. You got it?
Thank you.
I try to make it interactive. I hate to just be up here and just keep throwing stuff at you guys. So keep you guys awake, and if anybody has any questions, just raise your hand. And then this is where the bread and butter starts coming in. You know, consulting rank. The reason you want to get there is like a building block. There's rank investment bonuses that open up some other. It opens up the money chest. So what happens is there's like a video game that, you know, for those that played video games years ago, as you move up the rank, you start making the money. This is one of like our first leadership rank. This is called a director rank. This is where you want to be as fast as possible. And the only way to get this, you got to be a consultant first. So we don't have the written career path in front of us, but what I'll try to make this as simple as possible too. To be a director, like if you already did your consultant, let's say you already did your consultant structure. This is this right here. You remember the 2 senior associates? You had the 4, and then you had 8. Now you got 15. You keep building your business. These are the minimums. So you need a minimum of 15 lines. You need to have
15 meters.
I mean, it's 15 meters, I'm sorry. You have 3 associates. Now you can have 10, 20 associates, but a minimum of 3 lines that are, one is a lead consultant rank, one is a senior associate rank, and one is another senior associate rank. So you need a minimum of 3 lines that have that rank. The beauty about this is, and now this is all telling you, to be a lead consultant, all you need is 75 meters total in that line. So what that means is, you got, that person has to have 10 meters, your associate has to have 10 meters, and he's got to have 3 people under him, at least minimum of 4 meters each, and a total of 75. Did I lose anybody on that? Everybody got that? All right. So that being said, the beauty about this structure that Meridian did for us, before, I remember years ago, that lead consultant had to be the guy you sponsored. So this is you sponsored Joe. Joe had to be a lead consultant. So I don't want to confuse anybody, but the beauty about this company is, let's say I bring in Joe, or for example, Chris. I have Chris here. I bring in Chris, right? And Chris, he shows the video to somebody. He doesn't really do much. He shows the video to somebody, they come on board, right? Who shows the video to somebody else, they come on board. This is the third guy now. It's the third guy showed the video. So Joe showed the video to Chris. Chris showed the video to Joe. Joe showed the video to Eric. Let's say this is Eric right here. Joe and Chris haven't really done anything in the business. They haven't even reached the consultant rank. Eric went out and saw this opportunity. He had a strong why. Maybe he didn't have, his business was failing, he had a job or something. He was like, you know what, I need to make money. I'm going to go do this. And he reaches lead consultant. This is the third guy down, reaches lead consultant. That qualifies for lead consultant in that line. Everybody got it? Don't lose anybody? So you still got your lead consultant in that line. It doesn't have to be the guy you personally sponsor. That's how you get to director. These are the minimum numbers, but total number is 250. And like Kevin was saying before, Meridian is going to do something. They haven't announced it yet when they're going to do stuff, because I hate to tell people because they're like, oh, when it's going to happen, but basically because solar is so big right now, that's our #1 product. We want to keep pushing solar, the money's at solar. For every solar customer you bring in, it's going to count for 10 personal customers.
No.
Organizational customers, 10. So if you're looking at director, you got to have a structure. That's not going to change. Just because you have 250 meters, there's people that have these many meters, but they're not directors. That's why it's important that you go wide. That's another thing I want to touch on. Just because you go out and get 250 customers, if you don't have the structure and the ranking in your military, if you don't have the ranks, the privates, the corporals and everything, you're not going to reach director. It's not just the meter count. You got to have the structure. So that being said, this technically is 10 houses. 25 houses. If they do the 10. What's okay?
Like we're just speaking about here, I learned the hard way. You need to study your group and see who you need to get to where you got. I had made director, but it took me a couple months to get that one person that I needed. The 2 people to get 2 meters into their group to make me a director. So, not to interrupt what you did, but it's very important, guys, to watch your lines and see who you need and tap down to them, which I'm sure you're going to get into.
Yeah.
But it's very, very important to watch. I just learned this, and what David's doing is great, but it's very important, man. You might have just that one person that needs 2 meters to get you to where you want to get to. And guys, let me tell you something. There's not a better feeling in the world to make director and now soon to be lead director. And once you get over that hump, that's it. Just manage that numbers. Correct, Tony? Tony kept telling me, Kevin, you got to get this person to get 2 meters. You got to get this person to get
What
2
happens
meters.
is your business, what Kevin's talking about, your business starts growing wide. This is not just going to be your business. You're going to see there's going to be lines coming up everywhere, and you start losing track, because if you're working a business and you're actually showing the business to people, and what happens is you become, when you start moving up, you start managing the business, your people, leading your people, but you still also work in business. I just don't now just lead my people. I still got to show the plan. Like I showed the plan yesterday. I still do it. I tell people to go show the plan, but I still got to show the plan. So you got more responsibility, and your business starts growing. I don't know. I think I'm well over like close to 200 associates under me. So you start growing so big that you don't start seeing. So that's why it's important, when I was saying before, to go from, you got to duplicate, you got to show people how to be leaders, because that's what's going to help you. You can't humanly possible manage everybody. So what happens is you start building leaders in your organization. So my goal is to have 10 of me under me who can oversee the organization, and now you're delegating. And that's the way in the military, any organization. The CEO doesn't, Mike Falquist doesn't work for everybody. Everybody delegates. Everything goes down. That's why the pyramid, everything goes down. So that's what you want to do. That's how you're going to run an effective organization, is building leaders within your organization and then communicating with those leaders. And then we'll go into tap rooting, to people down there.
The leaders will show themselves to you by their actions. If you sign up 2 people, it doesn't mean that you have to yell at them every day to become generals in your organization. You're either going to sprout up, okay, and you're going to nurture them to a certain extent, but you can nurture a stone for the next 50 years. The stone is not going to turn into a lead consultant, right? So you just have to keep going and following the behavior, and then you're going to find, you're going to find a Joe Burney somewhere. You're going to find Sharp. You're going to find Travis Merritt, right? They're going to come and they're going to start to now, and they're going to do certain actions, and now you pay attention. I'm not going to yell at Joe Burney. You got to call him every day. No. When Joe and Charlene are ready, When Travis was ready, when Artie was ready, when Mike was ready, when David was ready, then it happened. And when it happens, then now you're excited. Now you're gonna go mentor a new leader, right? You're gonna mentor, give them everything you got. You're gonna what's called tap down. It doesn't mean if you have 200 associates in your business that you're tapping into every one of them and managing them. I don't want you to get that thought that I have to manage 200 people. No, that's what you're trying to get away from in life. But when you have somebody that is showing like the potential is action, right?
Absolutely.
What do we say? We don't fall in love with potential. We fall in love with
Action.
So then we tap down into that, and then that's where this is so cool. This is why network marketing is so much different than any other industry, is because now I want that person to be more successful than me, right? And because as their tide rises, all the ships will rise. So, in my old racket, the police racket, if somebody was down here trying to be a hotshot, I would like hide their shoes or something like that, or put flats on their troop car so they couldn't pull out of the parking lot. But this is different. You're encouraging and bringing people up with you. So, go ahead.
And that's one thing. Going back to the why, everything's tied in together. But the hardest part about this business is like takeoff. It's almost like you're taking off on an airplane because you're trying to learn the business, you're trying to work, you're trying to learn skills, and the way we tell people is like. Eric Gordy says it's numbers. What you lack in skills, you make up in numbers. So the way you bypass that is by showing the plan more often. Keep showing the plan. Because even though you don't have the skills, you have to talk to people and stuff. You'll land a couple right off the bat. And once you start establishing, once you get past that road, that bump, and you get to at least director, where you start setting up lines, then the business starts getting easier. Because what happens is now you're gonna have people working with you. And what you're gonna notice is people in your organization. I have great people in my organization that call me and be like, hey, by the way, for example, Maria Sanford, a couple 4 weeks ago, she calls me up, hey, I found from blah 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 the 211 slideshow or something. Now instead of me spending an hour trying to put together a slideshow, somebody in my organization found something for me. See how that works? So it makes your life easier when you start having people under you that are looking to succeed, and they start finding stuff to help you out. It's gonna help you save some of your time. The next part is the list. The third step is the list. So you got the why, set commitments and goals. And then I always said this is the most important. You heard me say that a lot. The why is very important. They're all important. But the list, a lot of us been in the business for a while and they don't even have a list, which is crazy. But without the list, as stupid as it might sound, you're not in business. Everybody thinks they can memorize everything in their head, or these little things. The iPhone. Everybody wants to keep their list on the iPhone. I like the iPhone, and I know old school. Everybody had the books. In the end, if you don't write it down in the book, the list. If you don't have do you have it or?
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, you can bring it up. I have my list in my car, but mine's a little smaller than this. I don't carry because I like to carry mine everywhere I go. So basically, this is Bob's list, but I like to have mine smaller because I carry my car. But right here, Bob has the memory jogger. I'm going to the list a little bit, but basically, he's got. Where's your list at? In the back here? Oh, there you go. So he's got this is his list right here. There's one of them, I guess, right?
No, that's my.
So you show the plan?
I'm gonna show the plan too. Okay, I'll just.
Yeah. Talk about the list.
Okay, this is the list. You download this off the internet. Ultimate Memory Jogger. You could Google search it, and this is crucial because if you don't have a list of names to call, then who are you going to call to show this Veridian to? The key is to always write down. You have to write it down. You can't keep your names of your friends and associates in your phone. You have to write it down. You can actually physically look at who is on your list, how you know them, their phone number information, and you could also the results of the conversation that you had with them. You could also write as well. So show them the video, maybe follow up in 3 days or 6 months if they're kind of on the fence about things. So you definitely want to write down all your people that you know from your phone, social media, like LinkedIn, all your co-workers. Once you write down everybody that you already have and that you know, and you run through that list, and you always feel like, well now I already ran through my warm market. Now who am I going to find now to show this to? And the thing is that we're always meeting somebody new every day. You're gonna get a card from a fence guy, or from a roofer, or from the cleaners, you know? And so you're going to want to somehow show them this Viridian model as well. You know, you're giving them business by hiring them to work on your house, so you're going to also have them honor you by helping you, you know, with your new business as well. As for the names on your list, you're going to want to classify them as A, B, or C. A-listers are business owners, people who have already seen success. They know how to create success. They're the ones you want to go to first, because they're the ones that are going to make a lot of things happen right away. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
B-listers are the ones that want success. They're hungry enough to go out to get it. They just haven't seen it, and they're looking for a way to create that success. Those are the ones that are most hungry and that are willing to work the hardest to get to where that they want to be. And the C-listers are customers only. Usually they're the ones that you do not want to work with, but ultimately that they have gas or electric meters at their house, and you know they could always sign up as a customer. What am I missing?
That's pretty much it.
I'd like to dovetail on that. I'd like to cut you off right now. Yeah, so thanks, bud. Now what you want to think about, right, when we're building that list, is that we have a military program, free for military, which is another like the $99 thing. They just throw it away. But show it to, make that a new part of your list. Who do I know that was in the military? You should just open up your list. It's either active military or veterans. They get a free pass. They get into this business for nothing. I don't lead with that. I show them the plan, and then at the end, hey, by the way, if you wanted to become an associate, this is at no cost to you. The other thing, you got A, B, and C, is now very important. This is important. Who do you know in Texas? Who do you know in California? If you know anyone in California and you're in my group, call me when this meeting is over, or see me when this meeting is over. And Viridian is going out to the left coast next week. All right, it's going to be huge. If you know anyone in Texas, California, North Carolina, or South Carolina, okay, very important. You start to think about those groups, because you know what? It's nice to be in the first mover's advantage in these type of markets, okay? So that's how quickly and rapidly things are expanding. And then, you know, if you're relatively new, know the markets we're in. Obviously, the old saying is you can make $1 million a year just in your zip code alone. But you know what? I barely know my neighbors. You know, I probably know more people in other states than I actually do in my own neighborhood. So, like David, you know, I know David, but David knows people in Texas, and David already has associates in Texas. Okay, Texas isn't live. Texas will probably be live in the summer. How big is Texas? It's gigantic. How big is California? It's gigantic. A lot of opportunities. So make that all part of your list. Okay? Thank you.
You want to show the video?
Yes, please. I love the video.
Tony, does it matter what part in the state, either of the state? Does it?
No.
Solar's going to be everywhere eventually, but like what Tony was saying is you want to get, especially if you get on the ground level now. I have associates in Texas right now, 2 of them, and I'm building them up right now. You know, I'm building up so I can be ground level when we go live there. It's the time to get in. But what Rob was mentioning before about the list was, you know, he was categorizing people. I'll show you a quick video, and because you could just show this video to anybody, but there's certain type of people you really want to show this video to.
Go back, Dave.
Go back.
In this section, I want to talk to you about a different kind of quantity. Years ago, I found out there were 4 kinds of people in the world. You know, one type are people who must be right. These people know all the right answers. They went to school, they know everything. You can't tell them anything. This is not a good business for them, because their minds are too set. Another kind of person is a person who must be comfortable. You know, the house could be on fire, but they're still watching TV, eating a hot dog, watching what's going on in the world. These people are toast. Because the world economy is not coming back, the world economy has moved on. And people who need to be comfortable will probably be left behind. So the people who need to be comfortable, they probably shouldn't talk to them because they only make them uncomfortable. And they're probably not going to make the move because number one priority is being comfortable. Another kind of person is a person who must be liked. You know, they want to please everybody. This is probably not the business for them either, you know, because they want somebody else's approval. They want to be the good little boy or girl saying, I did the right thing to the time, you like me, don't you? And so they'll probably not be successful in the 21st century because they'll probably want to be liked by people who have to be right, and people who want to be comfortable. All right, good, be comfortable. All right, you're very right, you know, it's part of being liked. But the business for the people of the 21st century are people who must win. And that's where I am at. One of the best things I was taught in the Marine Corps and in military school is not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you stand up. When somebody knocks you back, what do? Oh, you hurt my feelings? You'll probably not be successful. The world will probably pass you by. Because as I said, the world economy is moved on. It's not coming back. So winners will win. But winning takes sacrifice. Success takes sacrifice. And these are the people who will do best in business of the 21st century. So when you're talking to people, you know, about this business, you have to look at them and ask yourself, is this person really just going to be liked and they'll tell you what you want to hear? Or they're going to argue with you because they know all the right answers? Or they're going to get very upset with you if we're disturbing them. So what you're looking for in the network marketing business are people who want to win. People who know the economy has moved on. You'll find every race, gender, age, and background in network marketing. But what they really want to do is they want to win. It really is a true playing field in the world, but not for these people. These people will be left behind. Network marketing is what people want to win because network marketing is the business model of the future. If you want the government to take care of you, then just keep doing what you want to do. It is possible for everyone to win. But the problem is you've got to commit to it. You've got to say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to dedicate 5 years of my life. Well, look at the leaders and say, those are the people I want to be like. Those are the kinds of people I want to hang out with. That's what you got to say to yourself. And I want to help other people do what I want to do and win in life. And that's why I support network marketing, because it really is the business for the 21st century.
All right, including you folks at home, I'd like everyone to stand up right now. And just
Go back to 20 rounds.
reach up as high as you possibly can. Okay, let's put our arms down. And now what I would like you to do is reach a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher. That's it. Blow it out. Okay, so everybody said, you know, this is as high as I can go, but said go a little higher. That was easy. You went about 2 inches higher. That's all it takes, right? A little bit higher. So we're stretched out. We're going to get into the home stretch here, David.
Contact and invite. Bread and butter of the business. I actually made a commitment. I've been in business 3 years, but I started taking it, you know, to the next level like the past year. And my commitment this year was to master the contact and invite. Because, you know, if you start learning these skills, and because I figure this is what's going to make you the money, and that's why the dollar sign is there, because this is the hardest part that people have problem doing. You know, first time you start approaching your family because you figure that's the easiest, you start yapping away, you start doing it all wrong, and or you just don't pick up the phone call to call the A-list people, which is the people with big businesses, and for the most part, you know, winners in the world. You kind of like don't want to approach them with this, oh, that guy's making so much money, what the hell do you want to look at this? And you kind of like talk yourself out of it in your mind. So I figured if I master this piece, my business should grow. So that being said, we have the Joel video.
Yeah, but I want to just reiterate what you said. This is it. This is the whole thing. This is the personal development part of it. This is the fear. Any fear that you have, no matter how big and strong you are, is going to come into step 4. Everything could be aligned, but if you have fear, that's what's going to hold you back. Contact and inviting. Because A, we know there's a percentage of people, the vast percentage, the majority of people are not going to come into your business, okay? And then, you know what? And the sharp people, we talked about the A players, okay? They're not going to come, if they don't come into your business, they are never going to be like your broke brother-in-law and say, it's a scam. No, they're not going to come into their business, all right, because they're probably a Series 7 licensed broker, and they can't do that. But what they usually do is, they always become your customer, and they will refer you, if you ask them, to other people that may be interested in this. So it always goes well. So understand that part. If you have a little bit of fear about that it always goes well, and that's why you should always contact those A-list people, because the reason they're A-list people is because they've always respected and taken advantage of any opportunities that have been afforded to them.
When you first come into this business, your belief level is not going to be there. It's just normal. If you're new here, and if you're not a customer, if you don't believe in the product, you don't believe in the company yet, it's normal. We'll all get there eventually. So, John says it best, borrow my belief, borrow John's belief, borrow somebody's belief. And that's what happens. That's where the fear starts setting in, because you really don't know what to talk to. So what I highly recommend, our number one earner, Joel, did a quick video clip, 5 to 6 minutes here, that we're going to put on, how to contact and invite people. But what I highly recommend is, like anything else in this business, always consult your upline. So whoever bought you in this business, sponsored, if somebody came to my business, consult me, or whatever. It doesn't have to be your upline. You feel comfortable talking to me or somebody else. And what I like to do is, I notice it works effective. There's different styles and everything, but let's say the guy is, he owns a business, whatever he does. He owns a multi-million-dollar business. You might want to put him on the phone with like a business owner like John, Tony, or Mario's one of our other associates who also owns multi-million-dollar business. Because those people can relate. They know what the headaches they deal with every day and their stress levels. And I don't know anything about a multi-million-dollar business because I don't own one. So you might not want to put them on the phone with me, And that's kind of like how we do the contact and invite, and how we can get people into our business so they can relate with each other. Let me put Joe on. He's the number one earner, and he can explain this a little bit better.
Just Bobby Cakes.
Oh no, he's falling asleep back there.
It's a good video.
Is it me?
You got it? Or?
Go back one. Bobby Cakes.
Bobby
Look to the
Cakes.
left, down left.
Hi, this is Joe Okio-Grosso, Diamond Ambassador with Viridian Energy. Just want to take a couple of minutes here to help you guys understand how to get someone to see this business. I've been doing meetings lately and giving this kind of speech, and people have been saying, wow, that's great information, Joe. So instead of just repeating myself over and over again and having people drive 2 hours to hear it, I'm going to do it this real quick on YouTube for you guys. So basically, how do I get someone, how does a new person get someone to see their business? Now, when you're new in the business, everyone has anxiety, what should I say, how do I say it? And we know when they see the video and they're excited, we say to ourselves, you know enough to be dangerous right now. So here's the best way we've come up with to get someone to see the video. Very simple. Hey, I started the green energy business, and I'm really excited about it. I would love to show you my business plan. I'd like to get your opinion on my new business. I have a business plan video that me and my partners made. It's about 13, 14 minutes long. And I'd love to buy you a cup of coffee and just get your opinion on what I'm doing next, or what I'm excited about. Or how busy I am. I got 3 kids. I got Little League coming up. Or my parents. I'm taking care of my parents these days, and I'm so busy. But I'm really excited about this new green energy business. I'd like to sit down with you and just get your opinion. Now notice, I'm not asking them to join. I'm not asking them to sign up. I'm not saying, hey, let's get rich. I'm not saying, do you want to make extra money? Okay? Depends how well you know the person. If someone you grew up with, you can be a little more open about that. But this is not a script. This is just a guideline. And you can massage it. But I love using the whole idea of, I respect your opinion. I would like you to look at my business plan. That's something I'm considering. Okay? It's something you're doing. And I have a business plan video that my partners made. And I want you to see it. You get comfortable with that. So people, when you hear that, they're like, that I can do. Now, every once in a while, people will come to Frank and I and say, I just can't get someone to see the video because they think it's one of those recruiting things or one of those pyramid things. If they think that, you've already said too much. You've already said way too much. This is no different than if you wanted to start a yogurt store in town. If you came to me and said, hey, Joe, I want to open up this storefront in town, and I'd love for you to look at the numbers. Here's how many employees I'm going to need. Here's the equipment. Here's the rent. I would say, you know what, I don't know much about retail, but I'd be happy to look at the numbers. He's not asking me to go on partners with him. He just wants me to look at the business plan. So that kind of nice, soft effect is, listen, you got 20, 30 minutes, I love to show you my business plan. Ideally, in person, cup of coffee. Let's get together, cup of coffee. You walk in there, how's it going? You catch up on old times, whatever it is. If they can't do a cup of coffee, lunch, something like that, the second best way is, when can you be in front of your computer for 20 to 30 minutes? I want to show you my video. Now, in this day and age, people are going to say, send me the video, I'll watch it tonight. Don't do that. Never send the video. LiveViridian.com is our website. Hold that near and dear. Do not just email that, do not Facebook that for you new people, okay? Your business card shouldn't have it on there, okay? We're talking about green energy deregulation, and the first exposure is very important. So LiveViridian.com, do not give that out until you have a time and date. So if they're going to say, send it to me, I'll check it out this weekend, I'll call you on Monday, or call me on Monday. Don't do it. Say, listen, I'd like to set up a time when you could really spend 20 or 30 minutes, and I want to get one of my partners on the phone. And I want you, if you would, do me a favor and write down a few questions and ask my new partners some questions. Because maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. Maybe, maybe you're going to ask a question that I haven't come up with. Doesn't that make it a lot easier, guys, when you're out there talking about this business instead of worrying about things? And because when you say, hey, I want you to join my new business, they're already thinking, how do I tell him no? In this case, they're just, okay. And especially if it's remote. Now, if they're at home watching it, you're in the car, and I'm in the car, okay, the nice thing about this business is there's 3 people involved. One's looking at the video, one sets it up, and one's the 3-way call. Only one of the 3 has to actually be watching the video. And then you call and you say, listen, I'm going to get this guy on the phone. If you want to give him a hard time, give him a hard time. Please do me a favor. Maybe poke some holes through this. You know what to say. You'll know what to say when to say it. But you basically say, I started a new business. And now, for those that are professionals, we get this all the time. Maybe you're in health insurance, you're in life insurance, or you have a bunch of clients. And you don't want to send a mixed message to your clients. So these are that's the problem I had when I got started in title insurance. I had a bunch of title insurance clients, and how do I go to these lawyers and mortgage bankers and tell them I'm doing green energy now? Are they going to say, well, what about my title? So when you have the conviction and the confidence to say, look, I know you think I'm your title insurance guy, and I am, and I appreciate your business, but I'm really an entrepreneur at heart. And I'm an entrepreneur who happens to be doing title. And I know you're an entrepreneur, you have an entrepreneurial spirit as well. I'd like to show you my business that I'm doing on the side, just to get my opinion. Just to get your opinion. And again, I'm doing it on the side, spending a lot of time doing it. So I want to know if you think I'm crazy, am I wasting my time? So take the pressure off of yourself, take the pressure off the prospect, and let them just watch a video. And let them write down. Now, if you're not there, they're going to have to write down a few questions. Because you told them how much you respect their opinion, and you want them to feel like, I better pay attention. Again, if you're not there, you don't know if they're paying attention. So you're doing your best job. Hopefully they're paying attention. Because you're going to know that if you're calling back with somebody in 10, 13 minutes, they're going to have some intelligent questions because they don't want to look foolish. So that's the best way to get someone to see the video. I'll be back in a minute with how to do a great 3-way call.
Thanks, Joe.
That's Joel, like I said, #1 earner. He makes a couple $1 million a year, so why not get his opinion on how he does this? But a couple things to take away from that, like he said, is if they know that what you're doing, then you already said too much. We call it ring involvement. One thing I want to cover on there too, because I done it when I first got started. Everybody wants to try to get the easy way out and try to make this money as fast as possible. So you start emailing the video, texting the video. You start asking somebody, can I get your opinion on something? When Bobby was going over that list, I had the same list, and I put on there, contacted. So I contacted this person on this date. Contact just means I reached out to them and say, hey, how you doing? You got a couple minutes. People are so busy nowadays that's why it's important you keep a list, because the whole key to this thing is following up with people. Trying to get them to sit down in front of that video. It might not be the first time, it might not be the second time. And Chris is right here. He came, I had a birthday party at my son's house, a month ago now? It's been a couple weeks. And he noticed I had solar in my house, a couple of Iridian things laying around and stuff, but...
The coolest thing, it wasn't even your kid's birthday party. You were just using that as a ploy to get more prospects.
I got it trendy, right? It worked, right?
Yeah, I got a birthday party next week, guys.
So anyway, basically, the reason I'm using him as an example is because he saw the solar. We had a little quick discussion. There's a lot of people in the house, and I said, listen, and I said to him, he's right here. I said, when do you have a couple minutes? I'm not gonna sit here and talk to him, but I could have popped out the video. But when you have a couple minutes, let me know. We'll get together. And for weeks, the snowstorm came and everything. It took a while, right? It took a couple whiles. You know, I called him back and forth. We're contacting, like, can't make it this week. You know, back and forth, and then finally we sat down yesterday. But don't get impatient. You know, just because he told me that this week doesn't work, fine. I just put him on my list, move on. You know, he's not the only one I'm talking to. You know, you gotta keep, if he's the only guy you're talking to, then he's gonna notice that you're desperate on the phone. You know, like, oh, come on, man, let's get together this week. No, I just keep moving on. I don't know, whatever works for you. Keep moving on, keep moving on. Eventually he's gonna come back around, like, okay, this week works for me. Fine, I'll deal with him. And then you keep going on somebody else. But basically that's what I'm saying is you gotta keep working lists, you gotta keep following up. And then when the time is right, is when you're gonna put him in front of a video. Don't get impatient. Take your time, and it's going to happen. Then you get them in there, and you do it the right way.
And when you're having conversations with people you don't know, like Mike, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I failed to mention to you what happened to me last week. Just, you know, you just happen to be sitting next to a stranger, and you just strike up a conversation, because that's, you know, what we as humans do. And they ask you, well, you know, what do you do? And you say, well, I'm involved in the solar industry. That word is so powerful, solar. Anybody that has an inkling of entrepreneurial spirit or business acumen is going to want to know more. Now, my problem was I told them who we were aligned with, okay? And of course I know Elon Musk. And he kept asking me questions. I'm not vomiting. He's asking me questions. Within 5 minutes, he said, I really need a card from you. We need to talk. So I'm going to be talking to him about 5 o'clock this afternoon. He lives right in Jersey City. He's on Wall Street. So that's the way it goes. Solar is so powerful, and it's a great meeting.
You said you didn't vomit, but you must have said something other than I'm involved in the solar industry.
Yeah.
You piqued his curiosity.
Yeah.
But did you have a little bit more conversation about
You know,
it?
I talked about Elon Musk. I talked about Solar City. I talked about Apple. And we talked about Apple going $1 billion in, and just where he's now lathered up, and you know.
Another thing that works really well too, it's technically you have your own business. They said it well on a call the other couple days ago. You have your own solar company. Technically, you do. This is your solar company. Yeah, we're involved with somebody else, but like Tony was saying, you know, I'm involved with solar. Well, what do? I actually own my own solar company. You do. I mean, you're getting paid 20 residual for every house. You're not going out there installing it, but it's your company. It's your solar company. You can go out there and push it, refer people to it. So, you know, once they, you know, you say that, like, what do you do? I have my own solar company. Like, you got your own solar company? Again, you know, so who do you work with? It's like, you know, give me some, you know, if you want to talk, you know, now's not the great time. But I did this online. There's a lot of contacting advice. There's a lot of ways of doing it. Like I said, I'm trying to master it this year, and I started doing LinkedIn, Facebook, and all that. And I reached out to somebody that I saw was involved with green, you know, green this, green that. And you know, they said, you know, I want to get your opinion on something I'm doing with the energy. I didn't say energy, I said environmental with the green. And he goes, yeah, sure. I was like, when do you have time? And then he was like, is this a company or something? I was like, well, it's a business venture I'm involved with. I kept it simple, right? Well, he tricked me. He threw out. He goes, what company are you involved with? Now I didn't want to, you know, like, what do you say to that? And I didn't know what to say. Actually, because I got Joel's cell phone number. This is what's great about this company. I said, man, who can answer that call? I went straight to Joel. Top, right? I said, I text Joel, which is great, texting, because, you know, you call, you might be busy. Joel, I just got this question. How do I respond to this? Because I didn't, he goes, tell him, Creus Energy. That was the best answer, because that's exact, Creus Energy. That's our parent company. So if you don't know, we're publicly traded on Toronto Stock Exchange by Creus Energy, our parent company. Okay. So what I like about that answer was Creus Energy has other companies under their umbrella. They're publicly traded, they have capital. So as soon as they see Creus Energy, they're going to Google Creus Energy, they're going to see our stock and everything. They're not going to see, you know, they might find an article about multi-level marketing and stuff, but they're going to see all these other companies involved and what they're doing. They're buying out, and they just bought out an energy company in Texas. So that was a great answer, because the guy goes, Creus Energy, and I'm sure he Googled it. He was like, all right, yeah, let's talk tonight, you know? Because he must have looked it up. He saw it was a legit corporation, big company. He was like, this guy's involved with Creus. Let's see what he's got to say. Because what happens is, multi-level marketing has like a, you know, it has like a
Stigma.
A stigma, yeah, bad stigma. People see it right away, like, Amway, I don't want to do that, you know? So it kind of pushes away. But this is different. Yeah, we're involved in multi-level marketing, but it's not product-based. And this is why I love this company. And not only is it not product-based, it's making a difference in the environment. Sustainability. We're a mission-based company. So that's why when you start talking about people multi-level marketing, it turns people off because of the history, you know. But I'm telling you, you start building a belief in this company. Yes, we're all multi-level marketing, but we're not like those other companies. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We just got back from Nicaragua installing 40 panels on huts, on houses that didn't have electricity. And if you look at those pictures of these kids looking on the light bulb turning on, it's amazing. What company's doing that? You know, there's no other multi-level marketing company that's doing stuff like that, you know? So, you know, it takes a while to build up your belief and to get to where I'm at, you know, to believe in a company like that. But that's what happens that's what screws us when we start presenting this opportunity. As soon as they find out it's multi-level marketing. So Creus Energy is a great response. Another one Joe uses is we're involved in the most talk. One guy said, so what are you involved with? And another response I said, we're involved in the most talked about topic in the country. I left it like that. And he goes, well, what is it? But like energy deregulation, or green energy is what I said. Most talked about topic in the country. Because it's true. Everywhere is green. Everywhere you turn around, green. This company's going green, that company's going green. So you know, and then another thing is that there's a lot of business cards. These are Joe O's business cards. And what I like about this, this worked out really good for me the other day. I was going to work and I came across an accident. I'm in plain clothes, whatever, but I stopped to make sure the person was okay. Happened to be a high school friend that I went to school with years ago in high school. I graduated in 95, not years ago, but I haven't seen him in years. So I started talking to this guy, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? I told him, I was like, oh, you know, I'm in touch with the state police, you know, so I want to make sure you're okay. He goes, yeah, I'm okay. He smashed up his Mercedes and stuff, and I'm talking to him for a little bit, and he's like, I was like, so Wally, what do you do? I haven't spoken to you. Well, he's like, he goes, I own several restaurants, and I own several houses in this area. I was like, I haven't seen this guy in years. I'm like, great. He's like, what are you up to? I was like, you know, I'm with the state police, and started talking. I said, oh, good, man, you look great, whatever. I said, hey, you got a couple minutes? He's like, yeah. He's like, listen, I want your opinion. You're a business owner, right? He goes, yeah. Because I'm involved with a company. Now's not a good time. We're going to talk to you. He's like, sure. He's like, you have a business card or something? He goes, yeah. So I used to give away the Viridian business card.
Yeah.
Had an email address, Viridian website, everything. So you already released curiosity. So I was like, I brought out the Joe O business card, which is great. My name, Green Energy Distributor, cell phone number, email address. That's it.
I'd like to bring Jackie up real quick. Jackie and I forget your name, Chris. They actually have a printing business right here in town, so they could do whatever we ask.
Yeah, because this is not.
Jackie, you just come up and give us, you know, your phone number to contact you and get these cards made.
Yeah, because you can. Yeah, this is not. This doesn't have to go through compliance because it doesn't have anything about what company we are. But the beauty about this is it doesn't release curiosity. Gave him the card, and he texted me back, and we're still in contact. But
Can I see what he has?
yeah, I actually beat that one up. It's been in my pocket.
It doesn't have to, you know.
How was your cell and your?
Yeah, and in the back we have like, you know.
And I saw this from him. So I own Signorama. Chris owns Hub Signs, so we do a lot of signs and all that. But Signorama is a print shop, so we can do business cards. We can do the lawn signs out front. I'm gonna put one on my house. Kevin told me what to write. I got free solar. Ask me how.
Yes.
Something like that with my cell phone. So we do lawn signs. We do business cards, banners, those pop-up things that you saw with Joe had. Yeah, pop-up. I mean anything. We can do anything. Pens. I mean anything. Anything promotional shirts. I can do anything. So Signorama.
Now the shirts you go through me.
Oh, sorry. Can I have this one?
Phone number.
But this
Phone
is.
number.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
A name.
okay, Jackie.
Okay.
Signorama. We're on Route 9 in Ashley Plaza. Manalapan. My cell phone is 732-620-4101. Texting is good. My business number is 732-536-7575. The best thing is email.
I was about to email.
Email's the best, especially if it's work related, because I get them at home, I get them everywhere. So it's a little long. I'm sorry, I didn't make it up myself. It's Jackie, Jackie, it's really long. At, ready? Signorama, Signarama, Signorama dash. Ready? Manalapan. We all know how to spell that, right? M-A-N-A, everything's an A, Lapan.com. So it's Jackie at Signorama-Manalapan.com. All A's, except Jackie Yuddy. Okay? So email's the best for work-related stuff.
What comes after that last word?
Which one? Jackie at Signorama-Manalapan. M-A-N-A-L-A-P-N.com.
Okay, good.
Yeah, right? Trust me, I didn't make it up.
And if you
Nice,
come up
Jack.
if you come up with any designs, let us know.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
You can do a bunch of designs.
Yeah, I can do anything. So,
Yeah.
you know what I can do? What I was thinking, I was going to ask Lilith and everything. I can come up with a bunch of different designs and just, you guys
Yeah,
can.
absolutely.
See, all right, we keep it in the family. We have a tile guy here, he's up next. No, landscaper, and then we got the blue guy.
Landscaper, grass cutter, HVAC, I mean.
Yeah, physics teachers, if you got some
Amazing.
questions.
Yeah, remember he called when we were talking about the food guys.
Here's a
Anyway, oh, sorry.
Hey, Dave, one more thing just to add to your follow-up earlier, just maybe to give everybody a little bit more peace of mind with that, because that is the scariest thing. People are always afraid to call someone, the initial contact, but following up is crucial to any business. There is a statistic. People will say no 7 times before they say yes. So don't get discouraged at 2 or 3. Like Dave said, just keep it friendly. You're building a relationship. Stay in touch with them, and eventually they may say yes.
And I want to add two things to that. Well, I'll talk about show the plan, but the statistics he's talking about, there's another one out there. I said it a couple weeks ago too. They're saying that 80% of sales is done after the 5th or 12th contact, but yet only less than 10% of salespeople follow up after 5.
It's actually, we heard the stat last week, it's up to 12 now with the internet. With all the ads.
He's banging you emails.
Yeah, it's up to 12.
So 80% of sales are done on the 12th contact, but yet only 10% of salespeople follow up. So that's why the list is crucial. We go back to the list because you don't want to cross anybody off that list, and I didn't say this before, to they either a customer, an associate, or they refer somebody to you. I mean, if they can't be a customer, obviously if they don't own their meter or something, customer, associate, or refer somebody to you, that's when they come off your list. So they don't come off the list. What I mean by that, it could be a year later. Just keep following up with that people. I actually have people I'm still following up with a year later. It's part of the business. That's how, if you want to make money, you just got to keep doing it, Showing the plan. So basically, it's step 5. And from here, it should go faster, and then we'll get you guys out of here. I don't know, maybe another half hour or something. Show the plan is basically exactly what it says. It's show the plan. So you already did a contact and invite. That's your job. As a new associate, your job is just to bring somebody in front of this video. Not to do video environment, not to talk about the company. Let the video do the talking. Like Joel said, you don't have to say anything. This is such an easy company. I mean, an easy business to do it. You do it right. Where, the hardest part is your list, contact and invite, and just let the video do the talking. All you have to do is bring them in front of the video. Once you do that, we take it from there. Joel was saying, you're just putting this person in front of the video. You don't have to know anything about energy regulation. You don't have to know about a comp plan. I mean, what business can you get involved with and not know the nuts and bolts about the business? And that's what's the beauty about this. Disassociate yourself from all that. So don't get stressed out about what happens if this person asks this, what happens if he asks this. Your job is to put somebody in front of that video. Once you get them in front of that video, you're going to obviously book the appointment when you do a contact and invite. And let's say somebody's going to look at it Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Reach out to your upline or cross line, whatever, anybody who you want to do a third party call. And it's very important you do a third party call. That's another thing I want to touch on. If you follow our steps, you're going to succeed in this. You try to do it by yourself. A lot of people come in here, sometimes they have 30 years of sales experience, like, I'm going to do this. I had associates who come on, and this, I'm going to do it this way, I'm going to do it this way. They fall flat on their face. The business thing is like, this is not for me. The business is not working out because they never follow these steps. A lot of people do the third party. I showed Chris the video, and I even told Chris, I was like, Chris, I've been in this business long enough to answer every question you have. But I'm going to put somebody on the phone, a business associate, which I did. I was like, I'm going to put somebody on the phone to answer your questions. And I told him, I was like, the reason I'm doing that is because I don't know about the business. The reason I'm doing that is to show you the system, show you that you don't have to know all the answers when you get involved, and to show you the support level. And that's why you want to do that. So it's important you do a third-party call. So you want to make sure you book somebody for a third-party call before you go to see, show the video. Because you don't want to call somebody last minute and be like, oh, I'm showing the video right now. And what happens is, when you hit play, and I go into how to show the video and stuff, but when you hit play, you already have somebody that you already set up. You already said you're going to show Joe the video at 3 o'clock. You're going to use me as a third party. So, hey, Dave, you're around Tuesday at 3 o'clock? Sure, I'll do it. Okay? Now I know, I already put it in my calendar, appointment 3 o'clock. So now you go, if you're running a little late, just let somebody know. It's an hour late. Just be courteous of people's time. Like, hey, he's a little late, we're late. So we know, so we get ready for it. So now when you hit play on that video, it's about 12, 13 minutes long, you text me now. That's all. David, now. Now I know, 12 minutes, his phone's going to ring. Tony's going to call me. I know I got a third party to do. So when you make that phone call, the video's over, it's not going to voicemail. I'm picking up the phone, and then we're going to answer the questions, all right? So how do you show the plan? The website is www.meridianpresentation.info. You don't want to send that out. You don't want to email it. That's kept for us to show people. That's the website you're on. couple things I want to say about this is the TubeKit that I mentioned earlier. If you got, I'm a big Apple guy. If you got an iPad, download the TubeKit. Why? It has the video on there. You want the video on your hard drive, whether it be your laptop, iPad. You want it on your hard drive. It's gonna happen. You're gonna go to somebody's house, their Wi-Fi is gonna be down, or your computer's acting up. The video's playing, it pauses. A lot of distractions. You don't want that. Download the TubeKit. What I would do is I would download it onto my computer, make sure, or download the video onto your computer, and shut the Wi-Fi off on your laptop, your computer, in your house. Test it before you go there, and play the video. Because if that video is playing, that means it's on your hard drive. It's not reaching out to the web to try to get it. Do that, because when you get to wherever you go in a restaurant, wherever you're going to show a video in your car, I'm sure Tony's done it in his car.
Yeah.
I've done it in my car.
It's great in the car. You plug it into the
Oh, I
speaker.
plug it into the auxiliary jack. Sometimes I'm meeting somebody like, hey, you got a couple minutes, got a cup of coffee. If it's too loud in the restaurant, I'm like, hey, can I show you that? I want to get your opinion. You mind just go to my car? I got a video I want to show you. Plug it into auxiliary jack, surround sound. Crank it up, and you know, you show it in the car. So you can do it, and it's right off my iPad, so it's not Wi-Fi. So that being said, download the TubeKit from the Alpha. And what I like to do now, Live Veridian, you know, go around that site, but the video is also available on liveveridian.com. The reason I like to point people to that is because when you're done showing the video, and you know, they still got questions, and they're done. You're done for the day, you're gonna follow up with them. People are gonna go start Googling stuff. Googling Veridian. What they're gonna do now, you're gonna direct them to liveveridian.com. Because right there, they can go learn a lot about our company. It keeps them on our site, and they can explore all the videos, whatever they want to look at, associate videos, anything they want to look at is on liveveridian.com.
Dave, why don't you just back out so people can take pictures if they'd like?
Why, I can't be in there like that?
Ah, good. We got pictures.
Yes, Kevin.
Guys, I finally learned, the best thing is to show the video, keep your mouth shut. It's amazing that I have somebody in this room that I've known for 15 years. It was very mad at me, and I was upset that I discouraged her, or she was not even going to be part of my business. And I just said, I cannot say a word to you. Kevin, you better talk to me. I'm pissed off, you won't answer my questions. I don't need to speak to a third person. I don't want to speak to Big John. I want you to answer my questions, and I wouldn't do it. Jackie is here now, and now she knows why I don't, and John and Lowell explained, and it's very important. It was so hard for me, guys, to keep my mouth shut to a close friend, and she was very upset with me, but she's here today, so obviously it worked.
And we're going to
It
get
does
business
work.
cards from her too. So.
Yeah, so
If you don't open your eyes to opportunity and decisions, you know, one choice you make can change your life. It's amazing.
Yep.
Follow up. We mentioned earlier, the gentleman, I didn't even meet him yet.
Joe.
He mentioned it. And if you're involved with sales, I've never been in South. Bread and butter, follow up. You know, no, you're gonna get no, but if you follow up, even for a customer, not just associate, follow up on the customers. You know, people say, oh, they're gonna give you their bills. Keep following up on them, because you know, people are busy. You're gonna send them to your site, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Lisa does it great. To get a customer, here's my site, Veridian.com/Jersey Enemy. That's my personal website. You want to become a customer, go to that website. 99% of people aren't even going to go on there. People are busy. They don't want to hear that, you know? You got to really sit down with them. You can't technically get their bill. It's against compliance to get their bill and put them in. So don't do that. Some people do it, but don't do that. What you do is go to their house. I did this with my family. I was like, Eric, you know, I had my brother-in-law, Eric, kept saying, yeah, I'll go in there. I said, Eric, listen, Thursday I'm coming to your house. Does that work? Yeah, 7 o'clock. What are we going to do? We're going to have a beer, and I'm going to put in your bill. You go to their house, get them in front of their computer, put in your bill into your website. That's how you're going to get a customer. They're not going to go to your site and put them in. But the only reason you get that is you follow up. You know, I had Eric on the list for months, and I never went there. You know, you got to keep following up. Escalate. What this pretty much means is, and Eric Worre says it best, when I first got involved with this, my goal was show somebody their plan, get them to say yes, and sign up. Or get them to say, and I go home. And I didn't realize that that's not your job. Yeah, your job is to get somebody, you know, educated, to get them in front of the video. But the way you're going to succeed in this is you want to escalate it. You want to give them as much as 5 exposures in a condensed amount of time. So what that means is, for example, I'm doing it this week. Chris just saw the video yesterday. When he was leaving my house, I gave him some material, correct? And I said, Chris, for you, you know, if you want to learn more about this, we have training at John's house on Sundays, right? I said we have a meeting on Wednesdays or Thursdays in Ocean, or there's other meetings out there, whatever works for you. He goes, if this Sunday works for you, let's go. So I brought him here. This is like his third exposure because he saw the video, actually my house, coming to my house, seeing the panels, kind of like technically was first exposure, saw the video, put him on a third party, third exposure. Now he's here meeting some of our leaders and seeing what we do here. Fourth exposure. He's on his fourth exposure already. Do you see what I mean about condensing exposures? But that's what you want to do. You don't want to leave there. If you leave after showing the video and you shut up, because and Mario says all the time, show the video, do a third party, and shut up. Yeah, you kind of like want to shut up, but you don't want to leave there. You don't want to leave there without setting up an exposure. And what I mean by that is, after you're done showing the video, the guy might not be interested, or even if he's interested, be like, hey, when can we sit down and talk? Whether it be a meeting, we got the 1-888 Power 50 call. Give him that. Always give him literature. Always give him literature. Whatever you want to give him. Give him www.liberradio.com. Hey, take a look at this site. Look at this. Take a look at it. We'll follow up. Is it okay if I call you Tuesday? Is it okay if I call you Tuesday to discuss the site? Don't ever leave without escalating. If you leave without escalating, it's dead. It's over. You lost. I'm going to tell you right now. If you leave there and you show the video, they're third party, you walked out that door without inviting them to a meeting or have them commit to a meeting, because the meetings are in our back office. If you go under events, they're under Liberidian. If you're going to Chicago, you're going to Massachusetts, and you have, thank you, and then you have, you're going to show an associate or potential associate in Boston the video, whether it be through webinar, what I highly recommend is go onto your events page, look what meetings are in that area. Google all the meetings on the area, be like, oh, there's a Boston meeting next Tuesday, 25 miles away. And then get like 3 of them. Get like 3 different dates. Because what I like to do is after I'm on a third party, now this is responsibility of you to do this, not me, I'm doing third party. And I always say this to the associate. I'm like, where are you showing the meeting at? Find out what meetings are in that area. Find out what,
What do you Google? What you put in?
You don't Google.
No, you don't Google anything. Liberating.com under events tells you where all the meetings are.
That's the one I have.
What I'm saying is if you're not familiar with the area, like I'm not familiar with Massachusetts, and I'm doing a third party for potential associate, then I find out where they live. I find out the address.
And you'll Google map it.
I Google map what meetings are in the area.
Oh, okay.
And you can do this on Liberating. You can put in your zip code,
Okay.
and they'll tell you what meetings are in the area. The reason I do that is because I use that for escalation purposes. And like I was saying is, when I'm done talking to that person, I'm like, hey, Chris, you still interested? What do you got going on Wednesday that you can't cancel or reschedule? What do you got going on Thursday you can't cancel or reschedule? Right there, you're giving them permission. Like, you tell them, asking them, what do you got going on that you can't cancel or reschedule? Because then in their mind, they're saying, okay, I can do this, And what that does is I recommend you send them to that meeting with an associate up in Massachusetts. If you can't get up there, hopefully you can connect them. You don't ever want somebody going to a meeting by themselves. They're not going to get stolen by another associate, I promise you that. Because if somebody does that, their reputation in this company is dead to me. That's one thing we don't ever do. If you ever go to a meeting as a guest there, you find out who sent them there. Because it's going to come back to bite you in the ass, pretty much is what I'm saying. But never send a guest to a meeting by themselves. You can't get to Delaware, try to drive up there, your schedule doesn't allow it, find out, reach out to John or somebody that knows a leader over there and be like, listen, I got a guest going, can you take him under your wing? But for the most part, you want to go there or you want to get somebody there at the meeting with them. So that's escalation. Like I said, 5 exposures to get them there. Coachable. We're finishing up here, another 5-10 minutes. I said this before, it's an amazing system. We have people that sometimes are just hard-headed. They don't want to be coachable.
Tell us about yourself for a second.
Hey, Tony, I heard you were extremely cynical when you first got
Well, I
started.
was, but how about David?
That was pretty coachable.
Bro, you went into the witness protection program for how long?
And that goes back to, let me tell you something. Tony has a good point. 'Cause this happens to me in my business, and I lost some good associates too. But if it wasn't for Tony, John, and I joked about a couple of Wednesdays meeting ago, I was like, John used to call me, Penny has always called me. And I didn't mean like John was being, he was being mean to me. What I was saying is, he was pushing me, he believed in me, Tony, and there's gonna come a point, I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody sitting in this room, if you haven't reached that point yet, you're gonna come a point where you're gonna have to make a decision. You're either gonna move on, or you're not gonna move on in his business. So, I guess that's the sign. But there's gonna point, it happens to everybody, in any type of business, or anything in life, anything you're doing. There's gonna point where you make a decision, and that's when you're gonna hit that brick wall. And you're like, is this worth it? And I'm gonna tell you right now. Thank God that I had Tony met. Then I probably would have folded, and because I reached that point in my life, and I didn't have I just didn't have the skill or the mindset to believe that I could do this, and I folded, and they kept pushing me. I was out for a couple months. That's why I said I've been in this business for 3 years. I really haven't been working in this business for 3 years. Technically, I've been in this business for 3 years, but I think Meridian's giving us a sign. But anyway, basically, yeah, you gotta be coachable. You're gonna run into, you know, if you want to be that guy where you want to do it your own way. I had an associate come into the business. He wanted to start his own green site, calling compliance to point his business to this site. He was getting all technical. He was a computer whiz, and he wanted to start a green site and push his business. You know, or go Google, all this crap, which is great. He wanted to push it, but he was so focused on that I was telling him, go get your fast start bonus. Let me sit down with you, go over this. He missed out on his fast start bonus, and what happens? A couple months later, boom, he's not even in the business anymore. This guy knew like building owners and everything. He had no idea of the possibility he had to do this. So you got to be coachable. If you don't want, it's like anything else. Tiger Woods, Derek Jeter, they go and get coaches. They're gonna go to coaches. They could be the best golfer. They still have coaches. Talk to any of those athletes. They have a coach. Doesn't matter if you're not coachable. I mean, you got to be coachable. You're not gonna get anywhere in this business. You want to be hard-headed? I say go out there, do it, and I guarantee you're gonna fall on your face and you'll be knocking back on the door. You really would be. But and then the last time is duplicate. We have a great system in place, and I say the same thing with Meridian. It's like the military. I went through this Army, Fort Benning, Georgia, through infantry school. They made me a soldier. I went through state police 6 months. They made me a trooper. This is my third academy. You know what I'm saying? This is it. This is the duplicate academy. If you follow these steps, you're going to duplicate. And that's what we have. It's just like the military, where we have a duplicate system that if you follow, you'll come out with Meridian Associates.
How about we call it Vacademy?
Academy. The Meridian Academy.
Yeah.
We got a radio or something? Or
yeah.
Oh, cool. We'll be late to church. My wife's going to kill me.
No, here we go.
Where's Bobby?
Bobby kick.
Bobby kicks.
This video, and I'll go into a little while I try to fix it. Basically, this video is going to tell you that what you do with your associate is what they're going to do. It's like a baby. They see and do everything you do. If I would show Chris that video, he's not been in business long enough, and I would answer his questions, what do you think he was going to do the next time he showed that video? He's going to try to answer the questions. He wasn't going to do a third-party call. I've done that. When I first got started, I wasn't doing third-party calls. I wasn't doing it right. Because, you're talking to a friend. It's kind of weird. You want to put a stranger on the phone, like Kevin said about you.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but it works. I'm telling you, they might say something that might get them to join the business.
Hey everybody, this is Eric Warrior, and welcome to Network.
Hi, Eric!
I have an old network marketing adage for you today. Write this down. Make sure that you build your network marketing career activities around this concept. It doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. Doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. What do I mean by that? There's a few of you out there that are so skilled, so talented, that you can make fancy things work. You can go talk to the heads of government, and you have contacts inside huge corporations, and you have all of these networking abilities. And you can sometimes get trapped by that skill, because you go do it, it might work for you, it might not work for you, but it certainly won't duplicate for you. And when it doesn't duplicate, you don't get all the benefits of network marketing. Network marketing, the benefit is a small group, or a large group of people doing a few simple things over a sustained period of time. The beauty of this is you can start with it being 100% of your effort, but you can end with it where your income is only 1% or less of your effort, and 99% from a large group of people around the world. So what do we all want? What do you want? As a network marketing professional, you want freedom, you want leverage, you want sustainability. You don't get that by doing something fancy. So it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what duplicates. And what I mean, what you have to be thinking about with that in mind is what you're doing every day. Can every single person in your organization do the same thing? If they can't do what you're doing every day, you've got to change it to something that can be done by everyone in your organization every day. That's why third-party tools are so important. That's why stories are so important. It levels the playing field so it can duplicate for you. That's why simple systems inside of our organizations are so important, because it creates a system for duplication to have a chance at survival. You can kill duplication by being fancy, or you can foster duplication by keeping it simple, keeping it third party, keeping it around stories, keeping it around systems. It doesn't matter what works. It only matters what duplicates. So ladies and gentlemen, my wish for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional. You decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we have a better way. Now let's go.
I'd like to thank Eric Worre this morning for getting up early. Thanks, Eric. Anyway, I'd like to thank David for putting his heart and soul, as always, into this. And John and Lella for just, it's unbelievable how you open your home every week. Sure, come on.
All right, so this is Earth Month, and we have an associate who serves on the sustainability team, and she's also an environmental scientist, and she's kicking off her first event in Jackson on Saturdays, and the details can be found on a flyer at liveridian.com. So please go to liveridian.com and download the flyer for the event, and we'll see you there. Thank you. Where is the flyer? You gotta go to the back office. Okay.
Other things we have this week is we have our meeting at the Sandera Restaurant on Wednesday. So I hope to see you there with many guests. So my advice to you, take something out of the training, and if find out figure out where you want to be, what you don't want to be, and use this as a vehicle, because it's good for you, it's good for others, because it can help people go green and save some money. Okay, but the greater good is what you got to look at here. Okay, the greater good, what we're doing as a collective. That's the culture. That's what you have to align this why with as a vehicle. So go out there, break things this week. Just go out and get it wrong, screw it up. Don't be afraid. I don't know how to spell Veridian. Just go out there, spell it wrong, break things, show the wrong video. I don't care. Call the wrong people. Just do it. Screw it up. That's the only way we're going to get there. All right? Thanks again.